To make a good boomerang, you need something that's moving around a lot, and fire is a great candidate. It moves, it flickers, it dances, it's a really interesting visual thing, and capturing it in a way that gives you some motion is a really good approach. So for this boomerang, what we're looking to do is make the most of the movement of our subject, not my movement as a photographer, as me, someone holding a camera, pressing a button and moving slightly side to side. What you'll find with boomerangs is that that slight movement on your part is going to be exaggerated. So we're shooting off this tripod here with a clamp on the top of it for our phone. You don't need to shoot off a tripod, you can shoot off anything that you can prop your phone against that's going to hold it nice and steady, nice and still. The keys to making a good boomerang are pretty much the same as they are for any other type of photography. Composition is critical, so here I've tried to make sure that the sides of my fire are roughly parallel to the sides of my frame. We're trying to make sure that we're not cutting off any key bits of detail, such as all of this nice detail up in the top of the hood of the fire. Once you're happy with how everything looks, you've got two approaches for shooting a boomerang. The first is just tap the button and let go. This gives us a steadier shot because we're not touching the phone during the frame. What you get there is a nice short boomerang that repeats really, really quickly. The other thing that you can do is you can press and hold the button, and that shoots a much longer boomerang that's going to have more movement, and especially if you've got something that's dancing and moving, that might be the better option for you, which gives us a much longer take, and it gives us also kind of much more action and drama in the fire. The thing to be really careful of is that when you press and hold the button on our tripod, we're not pressing it and moving the phone around while we're holding the screen down. So we keep things nice and steady, and then delicately press and hold. We come away with something where there's no movement in the frame, the only thing that's moving is the fire, and we'll hit save, and we'll have something that looks pretty good. I really love the effect that this fire has had when it comes to making our boomerangs. I think it looks really cool. This first one, you can see what we're talking about when I'm talking about shooting off a tripod. There wasn't a huge amount of movement in here, but as we play it back every time, you can see across the top of the frame there that it looks like it was shot off a jiggly tripod. And that's just, even though the tripod wasn't moving, it's just me touching the phone to start that boomerang has introduced that bit of movement that I think really ruins the effect. So it's a good lesson in why you need to be really careful shooting boomerangs and how you touch your phone, even when it's on a tripod. I think it really ruins the frame. This middle one is kind of my kind of 5 out of 10. The flames aren't especially big, but at least there is no movement in the tripod, and this is off a shorter boomerang, so there's just kind of a bit less action, a bit less movement in the flames. It's not quite as interesting looking as my 10 out of 10 favourite, which is this one. We gave the fire a really good stoking to get this, and you can see the flames reaching all the way up the chimney. I love the little reflections of the cast iron up at the top there, and because this is a longer boomerang, there's much more life and energy in the flames. It's much more eye-catching.